Okay, in the last video, we added this cow image and we removed the background. The background was green, so we made this into a PNG that had an alpha or transparent background. And then when we imported this, Blender used the alpha information to remove the background. And this allowed us to have an object that had white parts, keep those without those becoming transparent also. Now, like I said in the last video, I didn't go through the steps of turning this into a little wooden toy, but you're welcome to do that if you would like to have some cows out in the field as the train goes by or something like that. So, in this video, let's first bring everything back by hitting the slash key, and we're going to focus on just the train car. So I'm going to select that and hit slash to focus on this. Now, the plan for this video is we're going to put one of our graffiti designs here on the side of this, but it's a little more complex since we have so many parts. When we unwrap this and we try to get our picture to fit this part, then the scaling on some of the other areas gets messed up, or the picture starts going into different parts and it's kind of a mess. So I want to show you how to do that so that you can still have an image on something that's a little more complex. So let's go ahead and first bring in our image to load that information. So open the add menu, go to image and mesh plane. And I have my graffiti right there and it's kind of to the side. So I'll just move that over and rotate that on the X axis so it's standing up and I can see it okay. So we want this to be here on the side of the mesh. Now, my wood grain texture is a little messed up. I was using this file to experiment and work through this, so I must have done something, but it shouldn't affect what we're doing. So what I want to do is select the train car, and all the train car has this material. Yours may be different, it doesn't matter. But I don't want to make any changes to this, but here in a second, we're going to make a copy of it. But before we do that, let's go to the material tab here at the bottom. And if you remember in the past, we have done some things where we have more than one material slot. So we're going to set this up so that this face has its own material slot. So let's switch to edit mode. Let's go to face select by hitting 3 or this button here in the top left and select just this face. We're going to add a new slot and then assign this face to that slot. And you'll notice it went white because now it has a different material. Let's start by going ahead and giving it the same material. I have wood. You may have something else. It doesn't matter what it is, but whatever that material is, find that and put it on that face. Next, we want to make a copy of it, and I'm just going to name this wood with graffiti. You can name it whatever makes sense to you. Now that I have that, we're going to hit A and U, and let's do Smart UV Project. And that should unwrap this so it's unwrapped correctly. Mine was messed up. And you can go ahead and do that just to make sure everything is the way it should be. Now, we want to make sure we're working with the material called wood with graffiti. We're going to take the material output. Now, you may have a material that has several things in a mix shader, and this will still work just the same. We just want to have a mix shader before the material output. So you may have a second mix shader and that's fine. You're just going to take the output from it and plug it into this one. Then we're going to make a copy of a principled BSDF, or we can search and add one. It's all the same. This will connect into one of the slots and this will connect back into the other one. And once again, if you have a mix shader, that will connect into there. We need to hook up our material, or our image, I should say. So select the principled BSDF, press Control T. This will give us our texture coordinates, our mapping node, and our image texture. And we're going to find our graffiti and bring that in. So now you can see that it's there, it's just not lined up correctly. We're also going to use a color ramp to eliminate the white background. So we'll do the add menu, search for color ramp. We'll take the color output from the graffiti into the factor. We'll take the color from the color ramp into the factor of the mix shader. Now looking at the color ramp, we're going to change the interpolation to constant, and we're going to move the white over until you see that the white background has disappeared, and all you should have left is the image. Now, since we didn't do a green background, we may lose some of the color on your design if it has white, but for right now, we'll just go with it. And now that makes sure that the background is transparent and we see our image. Last, we go to UV editing. We're going to hit the slash to unhide everything. And I was last in edit mode, so I'm going to switch to object mode. Make sure I have the train car selected. I'll hit the slash, so I'm only looking at it. And let's switch to render view. And this shortcut for this menu is the letter Z. So now I can see my logo. Now here on the left, I still have the elephant. So to change that, I can click on this drop down and find graffiti. And now I have my word, and all I need to do is go into object mode, select just this face. I can now see that face is right there. So if I grab that and rotate that, it looks like 90 degrees, and then scale it up. I can then adjust this how I want it to appear on the train car. And then if I go out of edit mode, I can see that I have the words. Now, one thing you are going to notice is that the texture of the wood here has been scaled differently than what is everywhere else. So to fix that, we're going to go to shading. We're going to make sure we're on the wood with graffiti. And we're going to look for our wood textures, or if you have different textures, whatever you have, we're looking for those. And to the left, you have the texture coordinates and the mapping. So we can adjust the scale, and let's see if I have to make it larger or smaller. Okay, so if we adjust the scale and make the number smaller than what we had before, it should start to correct this, and you can just manually play with it. Oh, I don't think that was working like I wanted, until you get something similar to what you have on the rest of the train. So, and I've noticed that the wood grain on this is going a different direction than that. So if I did want to change that, I could rotate this on the 90 degree, and that will rotate just that texture so it's running the same direction as the others. So that gives us a graffiti design that looks like it's been painted onto our train car. And we no longer need this image, so we can delete that. And that will end our optional lessons on working with some images and getting those onto objects.